What's up, everybody? Matt Gajewski here, back again with the Awesemo channel, and we are brought to you today by our friends at PrizePicks, discussing some college football plays. A lot to get into, but before we get started, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when this and all other videos go live. This short video today is going to discuss the Friday slate, where we have 4 games, including near and dear to my heart, Coastal Carolina. So let's dive into it. And I want to start with the runners to begin with. One very interesting prop here is taking a look at the Coastal Carolina backs. You have both Shemari Jones and Reese White. Reese White listed for a slightly higher prop here. So highlighting Shemari Jones. We did not see Coastal Carolina in a competitive game in week 1. They played the Citadel. It was a blowout. We saw both players very active in the game. And of course, we're replacing CJ Maribel. So what happened with this team? Basically, with Coastal Carolina, you had limited touches for both. Jones has 100 yards on 9 carries. White has 7 carries, 62 yards. So immediately you have a slight carry edge towards Jones. You look at what these backs profile. We have White. He's just 5'10", 190 pounds, whereas Jones is a big 220-pound back. He profiles more as your between the tackles type grinder, the guy you want handling your work on cleared running downs, whereas White, he's going to be more of your pure pass catching back. However, this is a situation where we potentially want to target both backs, but we give the edge to Jones because he has the lower prop. Coastal Carolina is a very run heavy team to begin with. They only passed 37% of the time last year. That was 118th in the entire country. Now you have a situation here where there are heavy favorites over Kansas. We're talking 25 points right now, depending on where you look. So we're expecting a run-heavy approach from Coastal Carolina to begin with. So looking at the over on Jones, that's one to target. Moving over to the pass catchers. And again, one thing we like to do is take a look at correlated plays. You can look at Jaivon Heiligh at 105 receiving yards and have a potentially strong edge here. Again, for the same reasons, Coastal Carolina, they're a very run-heavy team. So when players like Heiligh and Likely get there, it has to be through efficiency. And Heiligh is going to have a massive target share. It just comes down to they don't throw the ball a lot here. Last year, Heiligh averaged 89 receiving yards per game. And if this was a closer spread, it maybe would be a different story with Heiligh, but it's not. So looking more towards that average makes some sense. Potentially looking at the under on Heiligh here is something you should potentially take a look at. From there, another receiver to look at is Jake Bobo, who appears to have emerged as the #1 receiver in this Duke offense, something we saw down the stretch last year and something that looks like we will continue to see moving forward. This Duke spread is pretty much in Duke's favor. It is a 21-point spread in favor of the Blue Devils, but they're a team that has shown a willingness to run up-tempo and be fairly pass-heavy. They ran 76 plays in their very first game of the year. We look back to last year at this Duke team. They were also 13th in the country in plays per game. So even if they don't have the highest pass rate, you still have a lot of volume on Duke's side. From there, in week 1, Bobo had 9 targets. That was a 34% target share. The next closest receiver was Jalen Calhoun at 4 targets. And this is reflected in routes run 2, where Bobo led the pack in Duke. So seeing him at 52.5 yards, whereas you can get Calhoun at 49.5, just try and find the over with Bobo willing to go there for sure in this spot. And the last one we'll talk about, we'll scroll down here to UTEP, where you have Jacob Cowing and Justin Garrett. Cowing at 57.5, Garrett at 47.5. They've played 2 games now, and UTEP has been basically in 2 blowout victories. So their run rate is really high, passing the ball only 32% of the time. But they are 25.5-point underdogs to Boise State. They're going to have to flip this script similar to what we saw last year with UTEP in more of their pass-heavy game scripts. So far this year, they have used both Cowing and Garrett almost identically. The target shares between the two, Justin Garrett actually has a slight edge. He has received 13 targets on the year to Cowing's 12. Now, Cowing does have the edge in receiving yards. He's used a little more downfield, but the targets overall for Garrett are bankable. And it's a Boise State team on the other side that just allowed 318 passing yards to UCF. So the potential for the pass game to go off here. We're expecting more pass attempts from UTEP overall, and we'll take the slight edge here with Garrett as the guy with the lower prop. But that'll do it for us today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Before we head out of here, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe. Of course, check out our friends at PrizePicks doing all sorts of fun things with these players, especially on the college football level, something I've really gotten into this year. I'm Matt Gajewski on Twitter at Matt_Gajewski. We will see you again next time.